Hey y'all, new day, new verse as we continue into Isaiah is what I should have been saying to y'all yesterday. And although I won't be saying it today because we're doing something a little different, we are going to be picking up Friday. And it kind of goes into it. Because Tuesday we all got together, and when we finished up I was saying, hey, if God will get me up and moving so that we can do Thursday. And even Tuesday had a reminder of being consistent. And then so when I got woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning Friday without the cat attacking me or without an alarm going off, I had the opportunity of, hey, I can post. Didn't even hurt as much as I do right now. So I had this place of opportunity, of get to. Rather than post, rather than actually get up out of bed, rather than actually get to it, I started coming up with excuses in the moment. Oh, well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I don't really have lighting on this side coming in from the sun, and so it's going to throw off the colors, and blah, 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 blah. I could come up with excuses and reasons, and whether or not they were valid in the moment, kind of inconsequential when it was the mindset of got to do versus get to do. Because it was the got-to-do mindset that started coming up with the reasons why not to, the reasons why it's too much, the reasons why it's hard to not. It's like, oh, there's insurmountable odds. Oh, I don't have the resources. Oh, I don't. It's an excuse. It's a bullshit excuse. And the reason I say that is because all through the Bible, God talks about going in the strength you have. Gideon, go in the strength you have. And you're only getting 300 of them so that God gets the glory. David, run to the litter. Gonna pick him. Why? To prove a point. Because God is actively working and doing, and so we get to actively work and do. And it's not a got to do, it's a get to do. And I've seen this happen time and time again in so many places, including my own life. When you focus on the got to do's, they can get really overwhelming. I've got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this, and I gotta. And by the end, you've listed off all the got to do's. You haven't done a single one, but your entire day has gone away because you spent it freaking out about the entire list. And so now the list gets longer, which sends even more freakouts, at which point you're just in this constant Ouroboros-like effect swirling the drain until your insanity goes flushed away. Because that's the way that kind of mentality does it. The got-to-do-it mentality does it. Because the got-to-do mentality sees it as a force, sees it as a has to, sees it as a don't get any other option. Slave to it at that point. Whereas the get-to-do, we get to post, we get to talk, we get to hang out, come together, and thank God for the opportunity to do so. Because He is with us. And with us, He never leaves us, He never forsakes us, even when we screw up. And the beauty place is when we admit and recognize those places, then we can do better. Because, yesterday when I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, no light, but I'm not exactly rocking the best, I recognize 2009 bedsheet. I'll own it. Not exactly rocking the best lighting game. Trying to work at it slowly, a little bit hard to do when setting up your own studio is difficult with pain. But see, instead of focusing on the get to post and jumping out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning and just rejoicing and turning on the artificial lights, because hey, we live in this century where we can, I instead started focusing on the fact that, oh, well, what if there's a reason not to? Oh, I can't do the lighting. I just gotta do it. And so the mindset threw me. The mindset threw me because I wasn't focusing about the joy. I wasn't focusing about the hope. I wasn't focusing about the freedom. Because how many people get to do it? How many people get to have that perspective shift? How many people have a testimony of going from grave to grace? We all do, absolutely. That's the whole point, and that's what should be unifying us. It's sadly not. And it's talking out where He has met us. And by faith and testimony and revelation, right? We're sharing our story, owning those difficulties, bearing with each other, loving on each other is how we get through. Because how many people who are listening to this have those same moments of, okay, too many gotta do's, freaking out, shutting down, can't do it anymore, no. And you end up needing a Xanax just to look at your to-do list. That's because it's a mindset issue. It's the mindset issue of get to do it because we're alive. Get to do it because tomorrow is promised to no one. Get to do it because we have the opportunity. I was in far less pain yesterday than I am today, and the nerve burn helped even more so. And yet, instead of seeing that joy, I focused on the wrong priority. I focused on the priority of the physical aspects of it, the setting up the camera, the lighting, the words, the teaching, the preaching, the blah, 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 the X, Y, and Z. Rather than focus on the fact that it's a consistent thing because God is consistent. He said, go and do this. Well, has he given me any new words of advice? Well, yeah, and that we can talk like this on Thursdays. And just be real. Real with the difficulties, real with the problems, real with the heartaches, real with the pain. Because for those who have always lived and walked in the light, I celebrate you, I rejoice with you, I love on you. For those who have spent their entire frickin' life walking around in Plato's cave to the point where the brilliance of a match is damn near blinding, join the club, we will make it through. Because in a world lost in darkness, we've seen a great light. And that great light is knowing we don't have to do it. We get to do it. We don't have to try and be decent people. We get to be refined by grace. It's all about relationship. It's not about a checklist. It's not basic instructions before leaving Earth. It's not a behavioral manual. If it was, well, we'd kind of be in the world we are now. It corrects, it convicts, it teaches, it raises up sharper than any two-edged sword, cleaving soul from spirit, getting to the core of what matters. That happens in relationship. Relationship with friends who can be out there and say, hey man, it looks like you're falling away. Hey sister, it looks like you're stumbling a little bit here. Not condemning each other, but so close in friendship that we lean on each other. That we truly rise by lifting each other up instead of condemning each other and calling it kindness. Actually leaning on each other and being so involved in another person's life that you're not a busybody about it. You're bearing it with them, just like he bears with us. That's friendship, that's mercy, that's kindness. That's the way we get to live. And if you're in a place where living like that seems borderline impossible, stick around. I was there once too. I was once in a place where I had such hatred for the human species it could be wiped out and I would be giddy. Because of the destruction it wrought pissed me off. Not that I was any better, let's be real. It's where I've been rescued from. I was rescued from a level of hatred that wanted nothing to do with the species, a level of sorrow that hated everything about my own existence because it all hurt. The pain, the sorrow, the trials, the headaches, the storm, the sufferings. Life beats you in the face one too many times. You eventually either learn to run away, throw up your guards, or you come out swinging. All of the above cause problems. When we're in relationship, when we're in a place of love, agape love, his agape love, an understanding of the grace we've been shown rather than repudiating it, we can live it. We can live it forward. We can walk it. We don't have to behave the way we used to. We don't have to be the people we once were because we're not anymore. We're raised to life by grace, by the power of his blood. Father God, thank you that you cover us, that you walk with us, that you shelter us, that you clothe us, that you protect us, that you strengthen us, that you make us anew. Thank you that you are good and worthy, O sovereign King of glory. Thank you that when we stumble and fall, still you are there. And that when we turn away from the way we've been doing it that doesn't work and turn to you, you're already there. Even if it feels like we've run thousands of miles away, the moment we turn back, there you are. So give us the strength, the conviction, the heart, the joy, and the realization that we get to turn away from the darkness of Plato's cave and the hells of the pit and get to look to your great light. The darkness doesn't understand it, and the darkness cannot consume it. You made us, you shape us, use us. Let us live in such a way that those lost in darkness see your great light shining in our lives, that be a continued testimony of grace and mercy and love. Yes, that is what this world needs. We need your love. In Jesus' name, amen. We get to do it. When we think we got to do it, we'll never get it done. I grew up with the phrase, you got to do the gotta do's before you get to do the get to do's. How about we get to do the got to do's? Because what we've called to do, the responsibilities we have been given, are an opportunity to grow. Steward of little to become steward of much. So that we can be refined in character and form. To truly live out new creation lives that get to worship God in every moment, in every season, with every aspect of our lives, even when there is sorrow. Rather than those who got to give it up. Because the only got to give it up, the only got to we should have is something so in us that we can't help but not. Something so inborn in us that we can't help but not do it. Like Jeremiah says, if I close my mouth, it burns in my heart and my bones until I speak, and then it finally comes bursting forth. Living that muchness we're given. Even there, a get to do. It's a get to do to be alive. It's a get to do to be here. We don't always remember that. And when we focus on the got tos and the must dos and the don't have any other options, we don't forget that, yeah, there is another option. Not one we want. Because we either get to live humane, walk as humans, and live the grace we are shown, or burn in the pit. We either live by grace or we don't. We either get to rejoice or we will have to say, glory be to his name. Revelation, every tribe, every tongue, every nation will confess he is God. Those who see it beforehand and get to, or those who were forced to when they realized they were wrong. And it's not something we enforce, it's simply the nature of the thing. God is God. He doesn't need us to defend him. What he needs is for us to stop trying to take control of the wheel and let him lead. He's the one in charge. And I love the fact of getting to post these together because we can show and grow together. All of these videos going back, 4+ years now? An opportunity to say, hey, look how far we get to go. Look how far we've come by grace. Every single day is an opportunity to truly live. Will you live it? Or will you fall down dead in the grave? The choice is yours. If you're covered by his blood, you've been raised to life. It means you don't have to shamble around anymore. Just let him lead. Listen for the shepherd's call. As his sheep know him. Just need to be still and listen for his voice. Like any relationship, spend time together. See what happens. I'll see you then.